It will interest you to know that at various occasions, Samson will go into the land of the Philistines, the enemy's land, and go and spend a night in a prostitute's house, and get up in the morning and remove the gate of their city and put on his shoulder. Do you understand what Samson did? Is that they had a gossip that Samson is inside the land of the Philistines, that he is lodged in one prostitute's house. They now quickly went and locked the gate of the city, that if we lock the gate, we will see where he will follow. So what we will do is that in the morning we will now catch him and we will deal with him. He woke up early morning and went to the gate that was locked. Do you know what a city looked like? And removed the gate of the city and put on his shoulder and carried it and kept on a rock. Where did he stand up from before he carried that gate? You pretend like you don't know. The bed of fornication. Got up from fornication and carried the gate of a city. I need you to sometimes cast your eyes to anything that show you how kingdoms were built in those days. When they build gates of cities, they calculate war into that design. They calculate capacity to withstand stress, capacity to withstand attack. So imagine one man collided with a gate, removed it and carried it along. But he got up from the bed of fornication. It means there's something about the ordination of a deliverer, that when he begins to walk in his days of manifestation, if he begins to wander out of the path of consecration, his horn will not leave him. He can be in compromise and still be wielding strength. He can be in iniquity and still be operating in power. He can be operating that gift even in that corrupt lifestyle. Because from the studios of eternity where he was fashioned from the place where they wired his unique capacities into him, they did not tie it to a covenant that if only he is righteous. The only consecration that keeps Samson was the hair. And it means that as long as the hair is not cut, other areas of violations cannot break that covenant. The covenant is, let no blade come upon this hair. What I'm trying to say, in case somebody is not listening to me, is that what Satan will do is that he will allow you venture into certain layers of compromise. Then it will look like there is no repercussion for sin. It will look like every day is for the thief. It will look like God is slow. There is no judgment. You will now get used to that lifestyle of compromise. But the real attack is a covenant. Now I have wondered for many years, why will I be dating a person that is asking me for the secret, for how they can kill me? Why will somebody be crying, and when I ask you, why are you crying, love, you now say you don't want to tell me how we can kill you? How can I cannot understand that situation. Then you will now so stress me out that I'll now be so wearied. I now tell you how to destroy me. That is what you are looking for. Put yourself in Samson's shoe, maybe. Just try and see. How did love shock you to that extent? I don't care whether they were rubbing your head. The question is, how can we tame you? And you use your mouth and you were explaining it in details. Now see, the first day I use, just so that the case you will not stress me, I now told you that if you can tie me with fresh leaves cut from palm, I will be weak. When I now open my eyes the next morning, I saw fresh leaf on my hand and my leg. Is that not enough sign? Enough sign that something is happening here. Then as I now cut the rope, you, my love, now got very angry and started crying again that you lied to me. What is happening here? Let's pause first. I have strong reasons to believe if Samson was a Nigerian, that relationship will end in Did you know why? Listen, look at me. Did you know why he continued in that relationship and continued divulging secrets? It's because he had journeyed in compromise so long that he thought that the covenant cannot be broken based on how he can go and lie with a prostitute and get up and stir himself. You see, this is how you can just stay by yourself and yield to temptation, fall for the sin of masturbation, watch pornography and choke your heart with filthiness. Then you will now say tomorrow you fast. You know what you are doing? That fasting is you are stirring yourself. You stir yourself with fasting. By 3 p.m. your spirit is charged. You now start walking like a colossus again. If any man being Christ is a new creature. When you are done with that, Satan wants you to be enjoying the crisscrossing you are doing between darkness and light. So you go for your vacation in darkness, you come back into light. You wander into darkness, you come back into light. One of these days you will not come back. You will not come back. My emphasis this evening is Judges chapter 16. There is an opening there that made a lot of sense. The Bible says, and Samson loved a woman in the valley of Sorek. He came into a place where he now became affectionate to a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name is what? See, listen. You know, there are many names in the Bible that because of one person's behavior, everybody ran from the name. Before Judas, that name was a popular... Maybe you should go and check the meaning of Judas and see. It's a good thing. Did you know the last time you saw anybody bearing Judas? You don't need to add Iscariot, just Judas. Okay, let's come into Nigeria. I don't want to call some names. Meanwhile, do you know that people bear Gabriel, people bear Michael? You know, have you heard Lucifer? You know why? Although Lucifer is the form that is unfalling, it was the accurate angel, but because Satan once occupied that office, they say, I don't want anything. People don't want anything that can link them in any way to any negative feeling. So just imagine something. They say somebody is a secret enemy in this our church here, that there's somebody that is a betrayer in this our midst, but we don't know who the person is. Then we're now asking everybody their name. Then somebody got up somewhere there and say his name is Lucifer. Do you know that subconsciously your suspicion would, your heart would just say, let's be careful with this. I'm doing all of this on a lighter note. He says, and Samson loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. The moment Samson, being a deliverer, fortified with strength, the moment his affection cleaved to something, the Philistines knew that they have gotten what they were looking for. They did not come to Samson, they went to Delilah. The same way Satan never went to Adam, he went to Eve. He waits until you have loved something. It is that thing that becomes the area. Listen, I'm talking about how has the mighty fallen. Every time a mighty fall, check the narrative. You will see that it was his obsession that they brought him down with. Check the narrative. You will see that it was her affection that they used to trace the areas where they could pull her down from. Now Samson had lived fulfilling the mandate of what the ordination, that was what God spake concerning him. He was fulfilling it. He was a judge in Israel. However, he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek whose name was Delilah. If there was any crime of Samson, it was loving a woman in the valley of Sorek. Now look at what his father began to tell him. That, is there no woman in the whole of the land of Israel for you? Why did you go into this Gentile? That is where he likes. The same way an angel came and announced the birth of Samson. And when they told Manoah that your wife will conceive. These are the consecrations she must keep. She must not take any strong drink, and no blade must come upon the head of this boy. When they gave birth to this boy, prophecy confirmed, ordination has begun to work. But the enemies knew that it was not enough that you have arrived. Look at how such a bright destiny was cut off. This is the same way many of us, we emerge, we arrive, we enter time as the intervention. Every time a people cry,